What's up, guys? Welcome back to the seventh podcast in our series, Jock of all trades. Right now, we're heading into week 12 of the NFL season, and the last podcast we recorded was about a month and a half ago. So a lot of interesting stuff has gone down since then. At the same time, the NBA is in the middle of their offseason. We had the NBA draft about a week ago, and now a lot of sort of new free agent signings and trades are going down. So there's a lot of stuff to discuss in both leagues. So we're going to be splitting the podcast up into two different segments. This episode is going to be just NFL, but be on the lookout for an NBA version coming soon.
All right, so I think that we should just dive right into the San Francisco 49ers, the team that's probably on all of our minds right now. Just quite a disappointing season for us. But yeah, I think ever since week 3, it's just been injury after injury, and then it's just been a roller coaster of a season with Jimmy Garoppolo in and out of each game. Also with their defense severely hit with an injury bug. I don't know, do you guys think that the Niners still have a chance to get to make the playoffs? And if so, how do you see it happening?
I think I can jump in right here. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're going into week 12 of the NFL season. So there's 6 games left on the 49ers schedule. The record as of now is 4-6. And the only way I see them getting in is if they go 5-1 or just undefeated 6-0. This year, the NFL has sort of a revised sort of playoff seeding thing. And so now 3 wildcard teams get in. So I guess that sort of boosts their odds. But unfortunately, I don't see them getting in just because of how tough their next 6 games are. And so I don't really see them winning 5 or 6 of those games, considering how many of their starters are out.
Yeah, their division is stacked. You've got the Rams at 7-3, the Seahawks at 7-3, and the Cardinals at 6-4. So even if you go, do you really think that 49ers, even if they become 9-7, they'll still make it over those other 3 teams?
I think they still definitely have a chance, considering how we have Deebo Samuel coming back, we have Raheem Mostert coming back, Tevin Coleman, Jimmy Garoppolo. Hopefully, he'll be back up to 100% of his skill level. I know that we haven't really seen too much of that Super Bowl version of Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, I don't know whether we wanted to see the Super Bowl version of Jimmy Garoppolo, but at least last season's Jimmy Garoppolo. I think with all those pieces coming back, fully reunited, I think the Niners have a small chance to come back to get back into the playoff fold, but I think that just remains to be seen.
I just want to point out that Jimmy Garoppolo went 4-0 on the Patriots, and then he went to the Niners, and now he kind of sucks. So just putting that out there.
His record on the Niners is 23-5 or something. So I don't know if I take the small sample size or the trip to the Super Bowl and stuff. But
I think it's 9 now, but I think still that's definitely a great record. But I think Muthi, after hearing all your trash talking, I think it'll be pretty interesting to see whether Jimmy Garoppolo gets traded to the Patriots, and then I'd love to hear what you have to say about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Also, Muthi, how about Cam Newton, huh? So Cam Newton's been playing very, very well recently.
All right, you know what? I admit that we're not doing great. I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs unless we somehow win the next 6 games.
Wait. I just have to pause you right there. I think that statement alone has to be modified a little bit. I don't see us getting to the playoff this year. I think it needs to be modified to I don't see us getting to the playoffs for the foreseeable decade.
Okay, all right. Here's the thing. The Patriots just don't know how to finish. We've had, I think all of our games have been 1 or 2 score games. Again, okay, maybe I think the Broncos was 18-12, but we could have beat the Seahawks, we could have beat the Bills, we could have beat the Texans.
Come on,
but you guys didn't, and
but we didn't. Okay. I admit that we didn't.
How close you lost by?
Okay. Yeah, but you guys got blown out by the Seahawks. Got blown out by the Packers. Who else?
Those are some good teams, aren't they? Not the Jets. 0-9.
We beat the Jets.
We also beat the Jets. Let's bring the conversation back to the 49ers. And like Kushal mentioned, the return of Raheem Mostert, Deebo Samuel, that certainly is a source of optimism for 49ers fans. But I think internally, a lot of us have already started to think about next season. And a big question that comes with next season is sort of the QB situation, right? Jimmy Garoppolo, his play has certainly been subpar this year, whether that's due to injury or not. That's a debate for another day. But so just think about the QB situation for next year. Where do you see that going? Do you see the team signing a free agent, maybe drafting someone? I know this draft class has a lot of QBs. Where do you guys see that going?
Well, I definitely have a lot to say about it. I think if we do decide to keep Jimmy Garoppolo, for the foreseeable future, I think one thing that needs to come to mind is his injury history and like how injury prone he is. Like we've seen him have an ACL injury before. We just witnessed, I think, 2 high ankle sprains. I think that's definitely an important factor in deciding whether a quarterback is fit to be a franchise quarterback. And I think that needs to be like considered. But I do not think that the 49ers will end up drafting another quarterback. I think if anything, they'll draft a quarterback, but Jimmy Garoppolo will remain the starter for at least the start of next season. I think it still remains to be seen whether like Jimmy Garoppolo can lead the team back from this undesirable state to the playoffs. And I think that this December will be like will be like an addition stage for him.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Garoppolo, like you don't need a phenomenal quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Like you don't need a brilliant quarterback to win the Super Bowl, especially with how stacked the Niners are in terms of their running game. Like they can just like Deebo Samuel is basically another running back for them if you think about it. He can be one, but he can also catch the ball, right? They can do a lot of running plays. They don't have to throw the ball a lot. They don't have to be that type of team. So Jimmy Garoppolo can definitely be their quarterback for the near future. You just got to be, like Kushal said, that injury thing is really holding him back. They got to be able to get a strong offensive line to protect him as much as possible. But if he does get like multiple injuries in the future, I think the Niners maybe should start, looking ahead. As much as you don't want to start rebuilding in such a strong team, you might have to.
Yeah, I think I think you guys have a good chance for next year. Like 49ers have a good team and you guys have just been plagued by injuries. But the good thing is because Mostert's been out for a lot of the season, you've got McKinnon, you've got Jeff Wilson, they also got reps. They are becoming good running backs, and now you have a stacked running back committee. Your wide receivers, you got Ayuk to play. Ayuk's been playing great. And your defense will come back. So you're essentially like the Warriors from last year. You're just getting your players better, more reps, your backups, your bench players, and you just see what your rookies can do.
I think just going off of what Sarah said, like when he said that the 49ers don't need to throw like 30 times a game to win a Super Bowl, like I totally agree. Last year in the NFC Championship game against the Packers, the game before the Super Bowl, Jimmy Garoppolo attempted 8 passes and the 49ers crushed the Packers. So yeah, like 49ers with Kyle Shanahan, all sort of the run plays he can sort of scheme up. They really don't need sort of a superstar quarterback. They just need someone who can operate the offense and pick up some first downs in big third down situations, which is exactly what Jimmy Garoppolo did last year.
Yeah,
And we should probably move on from teams that aren't going to make the playoffs. Let's go to the relevant teams.
Which 2 teams do you see going to the Super Bowl, and which team do you think will end up being the victor?
All right. So the leader of the AFC is the Steelers, who are 10-0. And they're a good team, but I also think they have a relatively easy schedule. So I don't think that's like an accurate measure of how good they are. I think the Chiefs are playing the best. Yeah, I think the Chiefs will make it from the AFC. They'll probably I don't think they'll go back to back because I think the NFC has some better teams. But I think Chiefs will make it from the AFC over the Steelers. From the NFC, I don't think the Seahawks will make it because they have a really good offense, but they don't really have a good defense, and that'll cost them in the playoffs. I think it's either going to be the Packers or the Bucks, because I think if Tom Brady can learn how to throw accurately again, then they can make the playoffs. They have a solid defense, and they have great receivers. So
I think the Bucks have a really good chance of making it. Yeah, I think this. I still think the Saints could. Or sorry, not the Saints. I still think the cut that. I still think the Chiefs are definitely more Super Bowl contenders. I think they could easily go back to back because Patrick Mahomes, like, who's gonna face off against Patrick Mahomes? Tom Brady's not washed up by any means, but you can see that he's had some problems throwing the ball accurately and stuff like Luther said. So who's gonna go toe to toe against him? And I don't see like a Legion of Boom defense or anything that they had back in the day uh, that could face off against like a strong offense.
I think one thing, I think I really do agree with you guys in that the Chiefs will like end up going to the Super Bowl from the AFC conference, but I think on the other side, on the NFC conference, I think that one team that we're underestimating is the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals have it all essentially. They have this amazing offense with DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray, with also Larry Fitzgerald, an all-time almost a GOAT for wide receivers. But also, I think we also have a good defense. We have Buda Baker. We have Patrick Peterson. Is that his name?
Yeah.
But I think that if anything, the Cardinals have a really good chance of getting to the Super Bowl and even possibly defeating the Chiefs in their first Super Bowl appearance in like maybe a decade.
Okay, before I say something, I thought it was funny that Kushal started saying like, we have Buda Baker, we have Patrick Peterson, like he's a Cardinals fan.
Okay, no. I just meant to say like on the Cardinals we have like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sensing hints of bandwagonism.
Absolutely not. I'm not a Cardinals fan by any means, but like you just have to like respect the team. They have a pretty good team.
Yeah, I would certainly agree. I don't know about the Cardinals going all the way to the Super Bowl and maybe winning it like Kushal said, but from the AFC, I'll definitely take the Chiefs. Steelers are 10-0 and everything, but I think the Chiefs' schedule has been harder, and the Chiefs also just have Patrick Mahomes, which is, I think, enough to justify another trip to the Super Bowl. From the NFC, I don't know. The NFC, the top teams have been sort of up and down. The Bucs haven't been performing well as of late. They have a great roster on paper, but they just haven't been able to put it together. The Packers have been up and down as well. They struggled to beat the Jaguars. They lost to the Colts. I mean, the Colts are a good team, but Seahawks have a terrible defense, like we mentioned before. And the Saints, I think the Saints are a pretty complete team. Drew Brees is out for now, but we'll see what Taysom Hill can do. So not too sure about the NFC, but I think the Chiefs will end up repeating this year and get back-to-back rings. All right, that about wraps it up for the 7th edition in our podcast series, Jock of All Trades. We hope you guys enjoyed this NFL exclusive edition, and be on the lookout for the NBA edition coming soon. Thanks for watching.